said to him, "Oop, is this live?" Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Get Off My Lawn, where basically myself and Captain Xavier have guests. We talk to you about things, and we do stuff to entertain you, and I guess entertain ourselves. Maybe this is a mutual thing. Either way, this is pretty fantastic. As you well know, welcome to the World Foam Alliance. This is our YouTube channel. If you haven't registered already, please register and hit the like button. Don't forget that like button. Please hit the like button. The more likes we get, the more subscribers we get, the more we can do for you. Also, don't forget over the worldfoamalliance.org, the website. If you have not registered, please go ahead and register. As you know, our mission is basically to let everyone know where you are. Why is that? So they can stalk you? No, because we all love foam, blah, blah, blah. We all love foam flinging. We all love having Nerf wars. You know what? How many people sit there at home wishing, I wish I had someone else to play with? You do. You just don't know they're out there. They're probably your neighbors that live near you. So what you're going to do, worldfoamalliance.org, go register, let people know where you are. That way we can connect you and we can have bigger and more crazier events and have more fun. Did I mention that? Yeah. Register. As always, it's the usual things going on today. Today we do have another guest today, and he'll be on with us a little bit. We do have Bots and Blasters. If you've been following along with the World Foam Alliance YouTube channel, he was on the charity live stream with us, and he was also on an episode at Foam Zone with our own Andrew, aka Dart Sweep, who is not here with us today because he's got a different show, and I think he's trying to play basketball. But go register, go like stuff. In the meantime, let's go see what he's doing. Cap, man, what's going on, brother? You here?
I am here. I think I'm here. Am I here? I'm here. I am in my shop. It is absolutely pouring rain out right now, and I am scrapping blasters. I got a bin full of failed projects from a friend, and I am gutting them. So if you've ever watched my videos and wondered, where does he get all those screws? Where does he get all those springs? I get them from the corpses of blasters that I have cannibalized.
I feel like we should have a funeral pyre after with all the pieces you don't know what to do with. Just set them ablaze in your backyard.
They go in the bin. And then every other Wednesday, a man with a truck comes and hauls it all away. Some of the shells I keep depending on the shell. Others, nary so much.
I guess better question. How many blasters you got to scrap there? How big is the pile?
Probably 20 or so. We're about halfway done. And then I don't know what I will do with myself. What's this doing in here?
Well, I guess when
a lot
you're
of
out of that,
dead things in here.
Dead
Hopefully
things? What do you
not
mean
too many
dead things?
living things in here. What? Fucking smack.
Dead things that have been trapped and died, or has Swamp Cat decided to bury formerly live things into your bin of not so live things?
There's a lot of beetles, and I'm fairly certain there was at least one spider involved. I'm fairly certain this is supposed to have more parts. Still primes and fires, but I don't think it's working. So we gonna scrap it. I'm out here instead of at my computer as I would normally be during this stream because I had to use my phone because my internet is currently being hogged by a video upload. Last night I uploaded my reassembly guide for the Centurion, but I hadn't finished the edit. And so I had to take it back down, and it's a long video, and I've got really poor internet. So it takes many hours to upload an hour-long video.
Isn't it also because the Centurion has about 3 million parts that you have to put back in?
See, one of the things I address in this video is the whole prejudice towards the Centurion. Everyone believes that it's this impossible blaster to mod, that it's horrible, that it's got lots of parts. Turns out that's not true.
Hashtag Centurion prejudice.
It's kind of like the fear around vortex blasters. They're also not quite as bad as people think. Or the hatred for the deploy. It's become a meme at this point to be afraid of the Centurion. But having now opened it and closed it and opened it and closed it and opened it and closed it a couple of times, it really isn't as bad as people think. It's got the same locks that most springers have. It's got a trigger lock. It's got a slide lock. The catch is very similar. The one difference is it has 2 catches.
Oh, really?
One for what you would normally clad. Normally, a blaster has a catch that holds back the plunger, and then when you pull the trigger, it releases it and it fires forward. But on the Centurion, the bolt is held forward, and when you fire it, the plunger comes forward. Or actually, the plunger tube comes forward because the Centurion is reverse plunger. The plunger tube comes forward, fires the dart, and then the whole assembly slams back on a return spring. So yeah, it's got 2 catches, one to hold the bolt forward and one to hold the plunger tube back. Plunger tube goes forward, unlocks the assembly, it all slides back. That's the only unique thing about it. And it's not as unique as I originally thought. It's actually very similar to another blaster. And for those of you watching, comment which blaster you think it is the most similar to, what that mechanism is similar to. And we'll see if anyone gets it right.
That does explain that nice ka-chunk when you pull the trigger after. That is a fun part about it.
Yeah, it's actually 2 ka-chunks. There's the first ka-chunk as it going forward and a second ka-chunk as it goes back. And that's why it has so much recoil, is it's 2 different actions. And it's actually really kind of fascinating, and it was fun to tinker with and figure out what everything did. But once I got in there, it wasn't nearly as bad as people think. It does have a geared prime, and geared primes are something that tend to scare people, and for good reason, because if you don't get the gear timing exactly right when you reassemble it, it doesn't work. In the Centurion, it's really easy to know where the gears are supposed to be when you put it back together. But yeah, it is a big blaster, and it has, a lot of screws and all of that, and that's why it took so long to disassemble and reassemble, because you had to take apart the entire barrel, then the whole blaster. There were some solvent welds you had to break in the barrel in order to get it open, and
Ooh.
I'm not saying that it's an easy blaster. I'm just saying it's not as horrible as people on the internet would have you think. And I fell into that as well. I mean, I think I opened one to do a K26 episode on like 5 years ago, and I've never opened one since because, oh no, it's scary. And it might just be that I've gotten a lot better at modding since then.
It could be. Or you've just seen worse and realized, you know what, this is not so bad.
Yeah.
But then again, you enjoyed ripping apart a Stampede. I open it up and say, "Yeah, nope, I'm good." So,
see, and this almost certainly the Stampede will be the next one that I do because that's what people are voting for. And that one cool. I'm very, very familiar with, so I'm not even remotely worried about that one. I have torn apart many a Stampede and rebuilt them.
I think I just came up with a new term in my head while you were talking.
What's that?
There's blasting, there's nerfing, but you know what, man? It only takes a special kind of blaster, but to go kerchunking.
Ka-chunking.
Ka-chunking.
I like it.
There you go. Hashtag ka-chunk. Name the blaster you think that also ka-chunks. And that does not include throwing it against the wall. That's a different thing.
What's got the best ka-chunk?
I tell you.
I got me an O-ring.
Nice.
Anyone in the comments? Is anyone even watching this video? Is there anyone in the comments giving ideas for what blaster they think it's like?
That's a good question. Let's see. I
can't see the comments because I'm on my phone.
Oh, reverse plunger Alpha Trooper.
No.
Is it the Shadow ICS 6?
No.
What else we got? I don't know. That's it so far we got. Anyone else want to guess what the Centurion, exactly what Captain Xavier just talked about? Feel free to comment and guess. In the meantime,
what blaster is similar to the Centurion's primary firing mechanism?
All right, so while I ramble on for the next minute, try to Google it or figure it out yourself. But also, just a reminder, World Foam Alliance, the YouTube channel. Get the bug spray, man. Get the bug spray.
Beetle.
Remember to register and hit the like button. The more you register, the more you like, the better, the more our channel grows. That actually gives us more options in terms of what we can do. Also, in terms of events coming up, Maryland Mayhem is coming up. The World Foam Alliance is a sponsor, as am I. I am a sponsor. If you still wanted to be a sponsor, thought about it, but we're kind of waffling, this week is the last week for registration as a sponsor. I do believe the last day is on Sunday. They have not met their sponsorship goal, so they are still hoping people will donate and become sponsors. Don't worry, the event will still happen. It's just easier when you set money goals and you get the money you need, but they will figure it out. However, Maryland Mayhem, again, if you want to be a sponsor, they have different tiers. If you want to donate, they are still welcoming sponsorships. I did. It's awesome because it's going to be a big event, and it's a great way, especially if you're trying to get your name out there or you want to participate in a way, if you want to get your logo attached to something, just kind of recognition. Like, well, I'll use myself as an example. It's not like I woke up one day and said, hey, it's Al the Geek. Yeah, who's that guy? Sometimes you got to put yourself out there, and sometimes it costs a little money, but at least this way it's to a great event. It'll be well attended, and it gives you some exposure. And the best thing is it is tiered, so it's not like we need your firstborn, a kidney, and a second mortgage. It can be as simple as $100, and it goes up from there. Either way, it is very well appreciated and welcome. Second thing about Maryland Mayhem, I think I can officially say that the entire World Foam Alliance is going to be at Maryland Mayhem. We are all going to be there, and so we're going to plan out a family photo. The funny thing is, I think most of us are actually on Team Mega Double XL anyway, so yeah, of course we're going to be there. But if you're there at Maryland Mayhem, obviously come up and say hi, talk to us, ask us questions, give us crap about something. However you feel, we accept all of it, and we'll try to answer as best as we can. Unless you're rude, then we just might ignore you. But we know you won't be, so we'll probably just be rude to one another, maybe. I don't know. Anyways, we won't be rude to you. Y'all know I'm just messing around. Maryland Mayhem coming up the weekend of April 19th. That is going to be a fun event. If y'all can make it out to it, I highly recommend it. It is worth the trip, and we're going to have a lot of fun. Same thing with events. I do believe that End War has officially announced that they have a date, and I do believe the date is the weekend of like July 6th or 7th, whatever that weekend is. Same place as it was last year. End War is now officially on the calendar. It's going to be hot. It's going to be great. If you are able to attend, thankfully, they've given us enough time to plan out and go there. So again, End War's on the schedule. Be sure to come out and hope to see some of you there. I am not sure if I can make it, but I'm gonna do my best. And I'm speaking of sponsors, I will probably sponsor it, even if I can't make it. That's just how things go sometimes. All right, back to your pile of scrapping. What do we got over there? Or did I forget something?
I'm currently scrapping a rough cut. Or the remains of a rough cut.
Oh, what happened to it? Somehow it jammed or just died, or it just got left in the sun?
I think it had been gnawed upon.
Human or animal?
I'm genuinely not sure. This could have been chewed up by an animal. It could have also been chewed up by a human with side cutters that did not have any idea what they were doing. But this thing has had it. But we've got mainsprings, we've got O-rings, we got all kinds of stuff coming out of this one.
Nice. So chat has let us know. So for End War, that is July 5th and 7th. Also, Michael Lakesick has reminded me that we have Survival Fest also on the calendar. Survival Fest is also going to be another event. That one's happening over in Penn State College. Michael's going to post in the comments there details in case I mess it up. Because remember, I am old and forgetful, and I don't know stuff. But yes,
when is that one?
Survival Fest, I do believe is. Well, Michael, post the date before I say it wrong, so someone remembers it wrong. I know I'm going, so.
Because I wasn't able to get to that one last year. I'd really like to be able to get to it this year.
Dude, it was so much fun, man. I went in with no expectations and came out a very happy guy. But yeah, Survival Fest is happening.
Happiness.
Sometimes don't have too many expectations. Just go with the flow. And oh my God, you have a lot of things. There we go. May 31st, June 1st, June 2nd. I was going to say the end of May, so I was going to be correct. the end of May, Pennsylvania Survival Fest. Come out. It's going to be a lot of fun as well. So we got a lot of things on the calendar, which is good. We do have another event that we're going to be talking about, but we're going to let Bots talk about that when we have him on. We'll have him on here shortly, but it's one that's happening in Texas as well, and he'll give us details about that one, which is going to be cool. Also, the phone number flashed. Remember, this is a call-in show. If you want to call us when they flash the number, feel free to call in. We'll give you a few minutes, make a comment, make a question. We will hopefully answer it or talk your ear off or ultimately tell you to get off our lawn. Well, actually, today, I don't know, the Cap might tell you to get off his scrap heap because he's scrapping over there. So
entirely possible. If you ask a really good question, we will continue to talk about it after we've thrown you off.
There's
Apparently,
also a way
through a web link, which makes much more sense. What sort of a maniac would use a telephone to make a call? It's just weird. Apparently, that's how to do it if you're overseas.
That is the easiest way to do it. However, if you're old enough, you can use a rotary phone. Actually, you know what? If someone calls in on a rotary phone, we'll get him a T-shirt.
There was
prove to us you have a rotary phone and you made the call on rotary phone. Oh, really? What? Like mammal, reptilian,
arachnid?
Oh, wow.
There was a small live spider in this dead megalodon.
I feel like almost we're going to open up a secondary service. It's going to be Captain Xavier's extermination service. He'll just leave broken blasters at your house that will collect all the bugs, and like every couple of weeks, he'll just come pick up the blasters, and your house will be bug free.
Apparently, that's how they like to live. I found all kinds of living beetles in these things.
Wow, dude.
Stink bugs, lots of them. That spring's gone.
We can find them everywhere, I think.
I think this is the internals of a megalodon. Huh. The remains of a sling fire. What do we got in the comments? Anybody smack in the comments?
That is a good question. So we have people calling in saying that they will be at Mayhem. Unfortunately, they cannot be at Mayhem. The good news is if you can't make it to Mayhem, there will be a lot of footage, I'm guessing, a lot of pictures. You got a lot of influencers showing up. So I think there's going to be pictures and videos from every angle of everything, which is going to be available to you. Hopefully.
Yeah.
As long as people remember to hit record.
Which I never do. We got a caller. Good
wow.
Lord.
What are we, a calling show or something? All right, let's take a caller. Let's take a caller and see what we got.
Hello? No.
Oh, we're trying to get a caller.
Nobody?
Someone just said I found a jumping spider inside a mastodon.
Hello?
Maybe we have a phantom caller. Maybe it was a rotary phone and that was the problem. If you tried to call,
the man behind the curtain mucked it all up. Call back. We'll try again.
Hello?
At least that's what we're claiming. It certainly wasn't my fault. Who are you? What do you want?
Hello, this is Brachiosaurus. I have a question.
Sure, what's your question?
What do you think are the chances of a solution to effectively modding reverse plunger blasters? Do you think a solution for that will ever pop up, or will that just be something that can never be done?
No, back in the day, we modded reverse plunger blasters all the time. If you could, by some miracle, find a spring that fit, that would work. Alternatively, we did what was called a power stock, where instead of having the spring around the plunger tube like it normally was, we put a spring behind the plunger tube, and then it went back into the stock area like a buffer tube, like modern springers do, where the spring goes back into the plunger tube. They didn't used to do that. So we would create a buffer tube onto the back of a blaster and have a spring back there that would then allow it to give it more power. Alternatively, when direct plunger versions of things came out, people would just transplant the parts. Now, some of them wouldn't necessarily fit, and it took a little bit of work, but that's how you ended up with like Retalicons and things like that, where people took direct plunger systems and grafted them into old reverse plunger systems, which is generally the best option. Orange ModWorks actually had full kits for reverse plunger. I actually have a reverse plunger kit in one of my original Alpha Troopers. Yeah, no, it's possible. It's just a lot more work, and they were inefficient systems compared to modern plunger systems. Was the big issue is that they just didn't work as well. There's a reason that Hasbro switched from reverse plunger to direct plunger. It works better. So, yeah,
That'll be my suggestion. Buy something else.
Or just replace the gun.
I've been looking for a way to modify the deploy effectively, which is not easy to do.
So the deploy would definitely, I would go with the power stock option because it has the stock built in. It might make it so it can no longer collapse. I'd have to revisit the internals of a deploy, but yeah, I mean, that's going to be your best option, is to put a spring behind the plunger tube that directly pushes it. You might graft on a plunger rod, and so the spring will stay in place, but it's definitely doable. You can also do what Brett did and replace the guts with an XPZ.
Wow.
Deploy definitely needs more love. It got a bad rap due to a joke video that nobody realized was a joke, and people can't let go of an old joke. Good luck. Let us know how it works when it's
Maybe that's what you got to add to your list, especially end of the year, man. Is take the deploy, gut it, and somehow feed a proton pack through it.
Ooh, a proton pack fed deploy. Anyway, get off my lawn if you're still here. Good question. Good question. Yes, mod the deploy. Tell us how it goes. But someone else. Now we're popular. Now people want to talk to us.
Apparently. Wait, maybe it's a collections agency.
Hello?
Hello.
Hi, my name is Captain Shotgun, and I have a couple questions.
All right.
Go ahead, buddy.
First is, where is End War this year?
North Carolina, isn't it? Or South Carolina?
Nope, it is in North Carolina, and it is at the campus of someone put it in the chat, please. It's says the Canadian, which North Carolina, it is the campus of a university. It's the one right there by Charlotte. Basically, it's in North Carolina, right there by Charlotte, whichever university that is. Someone will put it in the comments, which is good.
Okay, that's great. I may actually get to go to my first event then.
Buddy, well done.
Nice.
So, how old are you?
I'm 16.
And I'm going to guess, have you ever modded or painted any kind of blaster?
Yep.
Nice, dude. What do you like working on?
Springers mostly.
Good place to start.
Why do you like the
And
springers more
everyone
than
should go to
the
End War
flywheelers?
once. I've been to End War once. That was enough.
You can go more than once, but you know what? You got to start with one. So I think that's awesome. If you can make it out to that event, you'll have a lot of fun.
Yeah. Do you know what loadout you're going to bring?
I'm hoping on it. I have no clue. I'm building a Strife at the moment. I ordered a kit from Anthony's Maritime Foam Etsy shop. I'm hoping to run that.
Strife is still one of the best HVZ blasters that has ever been designed, despite been around forever. Great blaster. Where are you from?
South Carolina.
Oh, so you're right there. You're lucky. I'm in Washington. If I want to go to End War,
Yeah, I wanted to go to the big game in Boston, but I don't think I'll be able to make that.
That's a trek for you. It's not that bad. Still not as far as I'd have to go, but which one's in Boston?
Maritime Mayhem, I think.
Oh
No,
no,
that's
that's
in
Maryland
Baltimore.
Mayhem. That's in Maryland, in Baltimore. So it's a little closer than Boston. The Maryland Mayhem one. That's okay. You can start with End War. That way, once you experienced one, then you know, all right, how much you like it, what you can do, and you just come to Mayhem next year. Don't worry. I promise there'll be another one next year. But did you have any other questions for us?
Yeah.
Yes, I wanted to ask about cell integration. I wanted to start being able to like put them together and make my own custom ones, but I'm not sure how to do that.
Hold on one second. Keep them on. Don't kick them off. Go ahead. Go ahead, Cap. Yeah.
Shell integration is a complicated thing to learn. The YouTube channel to watch to learn is Mr. Nathan. He is the best shell integrator that I know of. His work is absolutely immaculate. And he covers all of the basics, where you start, what you got to do. It's a lot of techniques you have to learn, a lot of skills. It isn't just you watch this one video and now you can integrate anything. You're going to need to know how to do shell cutting. You're going to need to know, sanding, painting, how to properly shim things together, how to use epoxy, when to use glue, when to use something else. It's a complex skill set, and Mr. Nathan covers all of it. So that is the series that I would watch.
Also, on that same token,
Mr. Nathan.
don't be afraid to don't start big. Sometimes, especially if it's the first time cutting or doing any of that with the blaster, start with something simple. And you don't have to start with a big hard one. Find cheap blasters at Goodwill or ones that people have thrown away. That way, when you cut it up, you don't feel bad. You don't feel like you've wasted money, but it's also great things to learn on. So when it comes to painting or all of this, you don't always have to get the biggest, shiniest one. Like even when I started, in terms of everything I do, I started on so many crappy blasters that half of them didn't work. The other half I didn't care about. But that was the best part about not being afraid to try and fail. And that's how you learn best.
Yeah. Start with some really small ones. And
check that YouTube
the goal isn't to actually create an integrated blaster the first time. It's learn how to connect two shells together. What becomes solid? What will hold up to abuse? What's going to break if you look at it funny? But yeah, practice techniques. Cut up a couple of blasters, glue shells back together just to see which glue works best, what epoxy works best, whether screwing things together works. But trial and error, a lot of it. Oh, what do we got here?
Then you figure out how to put a big long barrel on a sling fire and it actually holds and works. That's all experimenting. There were failures. But anyways, buddy, thanks for calling. I hope we answered your question. Awesome. All right, we have another caller.
Yeah. Bring on the next one. Apparently we got another newbie. First timer.
If not, we're going to bring on bots.
Hello?
All right, we got a first-time caller again.
Hello.
Who are you?
Hello,
what do you want?
Hello? This is Dead Man's Phone.
Hello?
I have a few questions.
Let's hear it.
One, why do you hate the Vulcan so much when you're thrifting?
I do not hate the Vulcan. I don't know why anybody would think that is the case. The reason I do not get the Vulcan when I go on Goodwill runs is because I already have a shipping container full of them, and they take up a lot of room. I have a dozen Vulcans. I don't need another one. I also got tired of comments of people going, "Oh man, I've always wanted a Vulcan and I can never find one." Like, okay, well, I left 3 on this Goodwill run for people who want them. I actually love the Vulcan. It was the first full auto blaster I saw. It was belt fed. It was the coolest thing ever. I've helped build deplorables. I helped build the deplorable Mark II. I love them. I just don't need any more. And so the reason I do the hashtag not getting the Vulcan gag is because I also got tired of people going, "Oh my God, you missed the Vulcan." It's like, I didn't miss the Vulcan. I saw the Vulcan. I intentionally left the Vulcan. Yeah.
And then my other question is, before you had as many blasters as you do, and Al might be able to answer this too. When you're thrifting, how do you gauge how much you're going to spend on a blaster?
Well, nowadays, if I will really only buy, there's a couple I will always buy. If it's a Strife, I buy it. I don't care what they're charging for it because it's less than it would be to find one on like eBay or something. So I'll pay $15-20 for a Strife because they're worth it. I'll easily pay $5 for a hammer shot, and I never pass up a hammer shot if I can avoid it. The ones I won't buy is if they're charging as much as the thing is new, I'm not going to buy it used.
Yeah.
Which I've been to Goodwill. They're like, this is a $15 blaster. You've got $16.99 on here. What? And I blame myself because I don't know if I was the first person to do large thrifting runs and make videos of them on YouTube, but I definitely got the news out to millions of people that you could get cheap Nerf blasters at Goodwill, and now they're charging more than they used to. It used to be $1.99 for a blaster. Now it's $4, $5, $6, $12. Meh.
Agreed.
Could also just be inflation.
Thievery. Yeah.
I noticed in my area they started going up, and I think it's because I've been buying a lot lately. So
where you from?
Yeah,
it's Texas.
We hosed ourselves on that whole supply and demand thing by demanding.
I don't know. It might be Bots' fault. We'll find out shortly. He'll be on next with us. So
there's bugs in my blasters. Nasty.
Nice. Right. Thanks for calling, buddy.
Good question. Get off my lawn.
It is. All right.
Bugs out of my blasters.
You got a bug problem over there. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So at this point of the show, we're going to bring on our guest. Our guest is Bots and Blasters. He's been on before, well, not with us, but he was actually part of our community live stream, and he was also on with Andrew, a.k.a. Dart Sweep, on Foam Zone. Bots, what's shaking, brother? Welcome to the show.
A couple of times?
Yeah, I think he has.
How's it going, guys? Thanks for having me on.
Hey, man, thanks for coming back.
Yeah, anytime. So,
yeah, Cap's already got a question. What?
Yeah,
you've called in before, haven't you?
Oh, yeah. I call in almost every time I can. Unless my hands are actively in a blaster, I try to call in.
I'm on the show, and I'm actively in the middle of a blaster. You ain't got no excuse. I'm about to make a lot of noise. Brace yourselves.
Oh, my God.
Good.
All right, so while he's making noise, let's do this. Bots, man, give everyone a rundown. Tell us who you are, what you do, and where they can find you.
Well, my name is Bots and Blasters, YouTube as well as Twitch. We do have a podcast that we run called Foam After Dark that has now been simulcasting on YouTube as well as Twitch since I think 3 months back. I could be wrong about that. Somebody would probably correct me. They've been watching the show for a while. But yeah, I started on Twitch, so we started simulcasting on YouTube as well. I also, of course, do the normal content creator stuff, Nerf thrifting, Nerf mods, reviews, etc. The standard fare that I think we all do. But, putting my own little personality and quirks into it.
Dude, that's awesome. So then, are you the one responsible for all the raised prices that's going on in Texas that we just heard at this episode?
Actually, I have a funny story about that because my sister works for Goodwill, and she kind of explained to me how all this happens.
Oh, this is good. Tell us.
Okay.
We got the inside scoop, the dirt, the tea.
Okay, so for Goodwill, there's two different branches of Goodwill, which people don't really know because Goodwill is a corporation. It's not a charity donation, contrary to popular belief. So there is Goodwill.com, and then there is the Goodwill local stores. So whenever something sells really well, the store managers are instructed to send it to e-com. But when it gets to that point, it's because people like us, who are terrible, terrible Nerf thrifters, we keep going and we see a blaster for 99 cents and we clean out the whole store. And then we go back the next week and they raise the price by $1 and we're like, $1 more. That's not really that bad, is it? So we clean out the store. Well, the store managers see this, so it keeps going up and up and up, and eventually you do get blasters that are $15.99 when they're $15.99 on store shelves. But by that point, they start sending them to e-com, so this way they can auction them off. But
Yeah, this is why there is almost never Lego at Goodwill's. All the
Exactly,
Lego goes
yeah.
to Ecom.
Lego goes to Ecom.
Though I did find a massive bag on my last thrift run.
You got lucky. Yeah, Nerf
I got
goes,
super
Lego goes, old video games go, and there's a couple of other clothing lines that go, like the fancy clothes, like Mary Kay or whatever. But I'm not there for those. Yeah.
Me neither. Well, maybe I will be. No, I think I'm good. I think that's also why we can't find like because how often, and there weren't that many, but how often do you find like a rival Jupiter?
I haven't ever found one in my many years of thrifting. I've been thrifting for a while, about 20 plus years of thrifting.
Well, see, we have the answer. Texas, it is Bots' fault.
Yeah, you can blame me. I'll take the heat.
But you know what? It's not your fault. It's their own fault. They should have got in the game much sooner. So
Yes,
you know what,
yes.
man? Like, what do you want? What do you want me to do?
I tell people
Like-
the key to thrifting is going often.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't go once and expect everything to still be there. You have to go a lot. Or you have to go to a lot of stores, which is what I would do. I'd go to 10 in a weekend, and one of them would be just completely flooded because they had just put out some collection that had gotten donated because some kid hit puberty and discovered girls.
You also got a lot of stores by you. I know because I went with you, man. It's like, holy cow.
Yeah, for the Seattle area, Goodwill is the big thrift chain. What I discovered when I tried to go thrifting back east, we got a caller. What I discovered when I went thrifting back east is Goodwill is not the primary thrift chain over there. It exists, but it's not the big one.
Yeah.
So
Nah,
going to
for me-
Goodwill isn't going to find you stuff. People donate to something else, and I don't know which one. So apparently we got a caller. Let's take a caller. Maybe he's got a question for bots, and I can shut up and get back to work. Hi.
Who's there? Hello?
Hello, bot.
Hello? Hello?
Hello.
Hello.
Who is this? What do you got,
Who are
buddy?
you? What do you want? Have you called in to give bots grief about raising thrift prices in Texas?
Yeah. So this is Blasted Arms. I'm on the Foam After Dark podcast with Bot.
Yeah. Blaster Adams
Nice.
is my co-host. Yeah.
You know this
Go
one?
ahead, Blaster.
Hold on. First off, don't kick him off in 3 minutes. This might take a little bit. Go ahead, brother.
All right. So I actually found my first Jupiter just a couple weeks ago. Of course, it wasn't at a Goodwill because the Goodwills up here in Houston crush all the blasters. So we have to go to, we have other thrift stores. So Texas Thrift or whatever. And yeah, that's not cool, but whatever.
Wait. Let's rewind. Crush the blasters. Explain what that means.
Yeah, they run them through the trash compactor.
Yeah.
So they don't sell them. They just trash out everything they get.
Yeah. In the
The
Houston.
Goodwills do, yeah.
Yeah, in the Houston
Yeah,
Galveston
in Houston.
area.
Yeah.
Yeah. They kind of have this I don't know. I don't want to call it a mandate or something, but they're like, okay, nothing that resembles a firearm. But Blaster can tell you more about that.
Wow. Okay. Damn.
Yeah.
Keep going, Blaster.
Yeah.
Tried that around here, and it didn't fly, and now they've got blasters again.
Wow. Hopefully we can get them to reverse that decision. That'd be handy.
Seriously.
Other things we got going on in Texas. So I don't know if we're going to talk about it, but we got stuff going on in Texas too.
Tell us about what stuff's going on in Texas, because otherwise
go
we're
ahead,
starting
man.
a rumor that bots has ruined thrifting. So we need to talk about something else to distract people.
Well, I'm not going to argue with you about that first point there, that bots very possibly could have ruined thrifting here in
How
Texas.
possibly could.
But we have the Texas community battle going on. It's in a little town called Centerville. It's between Houston and Dallas, and it's just a get together for a bunch of the Dallas guys and the Houston guys and other clubs. We got guys coming from Corpus. We got guys coming from all the way down there in the Rio Grande Valley, like Bots. A couple guys coming from San Marcos, Austin area. And we're gonna go out there to the Fort Boggy State Park. and have a good time. It's on March 16th, which is a nice Saturday. We're going to start up at about 11 o'clock in the morning and run for a few hours.
That sounds awesome. So what
Is
kind
there
of
actually a fort there?
There's not a fort there. It's just a lake.
There used to be a fort there at one point.
I'm not sure.
Well, it's called Fort Boggy. There had to have been a fort there at some point.
Not necessarily. I mean, they call things fort something other all the time that's not there. But I didn't see any signs of a fort there.
Back in the 1800s, there was probably a fort there.
Maybe. But yeah, it's going to be a 300 FPS open, right? Blaster?
Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna have it's a 300 FPS cap. We're planning on running some lower cap games, some 150s, and maybe some silly rounds. But primarily, the two clubs that really kind of got together and started this are the Dallas high cap guys, the Foam Soft League, and the guys in Houston, the Space City Foam League, which is the high cap club in Houston.
Cool.
Nice. How many people do people have to register? Or they just show up the day of? How do you guys have it set up? And will there be a fee?
Just show up that day, and there's a gate fee. It's $3 per person. That goes to the state park itself, and just meet us down at the end of the road at the pavilion.
$3 a person. That is nothing. That is amazing. Where can people actually go? Is there a link, or where can people actually go to in case they forget? Because they're like me or older and dumb and other things that they're like, yeah, there's a thing in Texas. Yeah, thanks, Sunshine. Texas is a big place. Where in Texas? So, yeah. And that was in reference to me. I wasn't calling you Sunshine, by the way. No, but where online can people go and find out more information?
We have a Texas Community Battle Discord server. There's links to there both on my YouTube page and Bots' YouTube page. You can hit me up or Bots up on Instagram or Twitter, whatever, and we'll get you all the information that you need.
That's awesome. And if people want to talk to you, what is the fee? And do they have to call a booking agent to therefore reserve time slots? Because I hear time slots have already been taken up, and there will be a nominal fee to talk to either one of you. And all questions will be screened previously, but then
all questions must be submitted 3 days in advance.
There it is,
double spaced, in triplicate.
Bring red M&Ms and you will be shown special privileges.
You're pushed to the head of the line.
No, dude, that's awesome, man. So what? How many people are you guys hoping for or kind of expecting?
I'm expecting a couple dozen from people that have expressed interest. I think we're probably sitting around 20 to 30 people.
Nice.
Yeah.
Do you have a cap of how many people?
The pavilion's limited to 50, according to the state park. So I don't anticipate getting too close to that.
Yeah.
Oh, I am. We're going to yell at people now. They got to go. They have nothing better to do, so they're going to this.
Yeah, this is actually the first community battle that we've tried to start getting organized since the pandemic situation happened. I think that was 2018. I could be wrong. Blaster can correct me.
2019. I wasn't there for it, though. I wasn't involved in the club at the time. But everybody that was there said they had a great time and they really wanted to see it come back. And so that's what we're doing. We're making it come back.
So these high cap dart leagues, are they like Dart Tag or Blaster Tag Association official league with teams and rosters, or?
Well, the Foam Soft League in Dallas, the Foam Soft League in Dallas run their own games. They run like scenario kind of mil-simi type games. And Space City Foam League, we run more competitive like games. So we have a 2v2 game set that we play. with assortment of teams. And in fact, we just had our tournament. We had a tournament this last Saturday, and if you guys want to see some video on that, you can check out Flagonial, Foam Dart Marksman. There's a couple other guys that have posted some videos from this weekend.
Very cool. I love how much variety there is within this hobby.
Oh yeah.
Every club does things a little bit different.
That's my favorite part as well. Between the 3D printing blasters, modding blasters, integrations, to how you use it, HPZs, field games, high speed competitive games, whether it's King of the Hill or 2v2 or 5v5. It's a lot of variety, a lot of ways to exercise both your body and your mind.
Amen
Absolutely.
to that. So I guess then the next question is, because in case they don't know, tell us about this thing you call a podcast that you and Bots are in on.
Sure.
Every Monday I go hang out with this really weird dude on Twitch.
Wait. Tell him your story,
he can probably
not my
tell
story.
you more about it.
Tell him your story, not my story. Wait, more people do this? Hold on. No, go ahead.
Yeah, but basically, I've since I got back into the hobby, I had an idea of like, hey, I want to do a foam podcast. I knew there was a couple back in the days, Detroit Dart Talk and a couple of others, but I don't know how active they were, or if they were still going. I don't know what had changed since pandemic times or whatever. So I was kind of like, you know what? I'll just go ahead and try to do it. I want to do a live talk show type of a variation on a podcast. So I had auditions. I kind of reached out to people, and Blasted Arms, I already knew him. So when he told me he was interested and he already had prior podcasting experience, it was just like a natural fit, because we're actually on, I would say, opposite sides of the hobby. But what makes our conversations really interesting is we still have mutual respect for each other. He's more like want to do the competitive stuff. I'm more like want to do the wacky, goofy, crazy stuff. But, we still get along pretty well.
That makes total sense, because, well, you look at Captain Xavier and myself. He loves
Mhm.
ripping them apart and getting to the inside. I just give me the outside, I'll make them pretty. But that's the best thing about this hobby, that we all tackle the same thing from every angle, is that it's fun. We all get to be nerds and geeks about it, and no one's going to question you. It's just like, dude, that's awesome. What do you do next?
Yeah. Yeah, but that's basically the show. We called it Foam After Dark because essentially it's like, have you ever had one of those really awesome war days where you're hanging out with the guys afterwards and you're still talking about Nerf or about foam flinging, but maybe you're kind of winding the day down, maybe having a cup of coffee, maybe something a little bit stronger? Well, it's Foam After Dark.
That makes total sense. That was my whole experience, actually, which also helps with Pennsylvania Survival Fest. Back at the hotel after, we're all burnt and you're just tired, but we're all sitting around, and there may have been cigars involved. And, 3 or 4 hours later, you're like, holy cow, we're still talking about this. This is awesome. Maybe we should go to bed because we got 4 hours and then we do it all again tomorrow.
Absolutely.
We have annoyed many a waitress at Denny's after Nerf Wars.
Oh, yeah.
Can't imagine why. What do you mean?
The occasional Waffle House.
Well, me, you, and Anthony,
Yeah.
Maritime Phone, we did it before foam flinging, but we did it at an IHOP where the waiter's like, "Can you guys get out of here?" No, we're talking.
We ain't got nowhere to be. We reserved this seat for the next 12 hours.
Nice. But
Absolutely.
yeah, but basically we try to have the conversations for the podcast be very topical. We talk about what's actively happening in the hobby, especially if it's something that's we have a couple of segments that we call like Mandatory Maverick, which Blaster came up with, which is basically we feature a Maverick because it's mandatory, because you always find a Maverick whenever you're out. Even if you're not looking for one. Yes. Then we have another one, which is Community Creations. We talk about basically things that viewers have submitted to us, and usually we ask for a write-up. They don't always give a write-up, but we try to we try to talk about it and just basically give our takes on it. Always positive, of course. Maybe some advice as far as what we do things differently. And then the last one that we really do is called Factory Fresh, which is pretty straightforward. We talk about new blaster leaks or things that have been spotted in the wild and things like that. And
that's awesome.
Blaster usually keeps me on point, so this way I don't start rambling.
Sometimes it's fun to ramble and necessary.
It goes both ways.
Yeah, it goes
there we go.
It goes both ways.
All right, so Blaster at Arms, before we get you off, so we get people to call. Questions, though. Are you coming to Maryland Mayhem?
I will not be able to make it to Maryland Mayhem, unfortunately, this year.
What, do you live down in Texas or something?
I'm going to caveat that this year.
No, I get it. We always want to go to everything, but it's really hard to make it to everything. All right, Is there any other event this year that you're, besides obviously your own, I hope that you just promoted, otherwise man, but are there any other events that you're hoping to make it out to?
I'd like to get out to the Pacific Northwest, but that's going to be a hard sell. Really this year we're focusing on this community battle, and then we're planning a larger, like the real Texas community battle for later this year. And I'm putting a lot of time and effort into that. So it's all just a, kind of a juggling match.
Yeah, this is kind of more like I guess like a dry run to see if we can handle organizing it between me and Blaster and a couple of the other club administrators that we've been talking to.
If you ever do make it to the Pacific Northwest, I got a bunkhouse you can stay in. Al can tell you.
Ironic is
top-notch accommodations, 5 stars at least.
I've stayed in it. Me
ironic is I know exactly where you live. I have family from Vader, so I know exactly where you're at. I know exactly where that's at.
No, it's not hard to find. Vader's not very big.
Are they still in Vader? And where do they live?
That's the problem is you'll miss it. It's Vader. Everybody's your neighbor.
Yeah.
I do not know the name of any of my neighbors. I've only lived here 4 years, like 5 years. I can't be expected to know people.
Captain Xavier is the weird guy at the end of the street.
I am. That is exactly who I am, and I appreciate it. I think they think I run a cult, which isn't far from the truth.
And every weekend he has some random militia show up at his house with all kinds of weapons, apparently. Dart guns, but
Cars showing up, people making noise, scaring the cats.
I was part of that, and I will happily
around.
contribute to that. Oh my God, so much fun. Yeah, if he invites and you ever make it out there, man, make it happen. But again, ladies and gentlemen, don't just show up at his house. Make sure the Cap invites you. Otherwise, we'll just start sending random people to your house to knock on your front door and see how you like it. So let's be civil. Let's be nice about this. Awesome. Blaster at Arms, brother. Thanks for calling in. Make sure to in the chat pop any links or anything else like that, and keep promoting it. And we look forward to hearing about your event after, man.
All right. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Thanks, man. Dude, that's awesome. So then, Bots, how many events have you actually organized and run, or is this kind of your first foray into it, or has it just been a while?
It's just been a while for me. I used to run and organize a lot of events. I'm sure Cap's probably familiar with games like Dystopia Rising and other LARP-type games that use Nerf-related blasters and stuff. The biggest game I organized was like 200-plus people. That was when I was much younger, though. That's when I was in college, so I had the free time for that.
Yeah, free time is definitely a I was talking to one of my buddies today. He's like, you could just do this. Yeah, dude. When? I mean, I'd love to, but I just can't, man. It's like, nah, man, I can't. I can burn the candle at two ends, but the more years you pack on, the more difficult it becomes, but also the more advisable it is not to do that.
Well, what my grandfather used to say is you can burn the candle at two ends, but the older you get, the harder it is for you to actually turn on the lighter.
And then you burn the
Ran
house
into
down.
Yep.
That's right. Actually, speaking of events, oh, yeah, go ahead.
Oh no, but I was gonna say, yeah, I've also been to like a number of events. I when I first got into the foam flinging hobby in about 2016, I went to, I think it was a Ragnarok Oktoberfest. I carpooled with some of the guys that were down here locally. I've also went to NVZ the same year. Before that's the NVZ was the precursor to End War, what End War eventually ended up becoming. But I haven't been back to End War since, in all honesty.
I went in 2019 when it was in Georgia, and that was enough.
Yeah, the first time it could be really overwhelming, especially in in 2016 it was the first time when Out of Darts was getting his stuff going. Everyone's like, "Where's Luke?" Because he said he was going to show up, and I guess he didn't show up that year. And they passed out these little masks for Out of Darts with Luke's face on them. So I don't know if he remembers that. He might. I don't know. Anyways.
He is wicked busy these days.
Mm-hmm.
My first one was also 2019 in Georgia. But then at that point, I still wasn't, I was participating. I was just making stuff. So I was like, all right, I'll go down. I set up a shop. So yeah, that's when I met Captain Xavier as well. And then the rest of the trip, although now I look back, it's like, yeah, you should have went in the HVZ. But at that point, I didn't know what I was doing, man. I was just like, I paint cool things. Here they are.
Yeah, that's pretty much what happened to me too. I was very career oriented back then, so like I was just a player like everybody else. Like I've actually been friends with Walcom for a long time, and when I started making content, he was like, "Well, how come you didn't tell me you're making content?" I said, "Because I don't believe in coattail riding. Like I want to earn my viewers and my subs on my own merit, not off because somebody recommended me or whatever." But yeah, I was just a regular person, just like everybody else, and that's kind of what I hit on with a lot of my content, which is that everybody has the potential to do what any of us are doing, because essentially we are the backbone of the community because we're just regular people. It's just I think people get a little too starstruck, and they let that distract them from the I don't know. Putting like an impassable barrier. We're like, I could never do what Al or Captain Xavier or whoever does,
That is very
going,
true.
I can't even do it. I don't know what you're talking about. Who roped me into this?
Yeah, seriously. Well, it's like, well, I'll tell my thing first, but then yeah, Cap can go into this. Absolutely. It's just like people say, well, I'll never paint like you do. What do you think my first one looked like this, man? 30 or 40 of them in was just a mess and horrible. Never mind until I figured out weathering and detailing. And even still now, I look at ones I painted 2 years ago and I look at it and go, no. So it's just an evolving process, man. It's just the way it goes. Cap, it's not like he woke up one day and said, well, I know how to do this.
Yeah. No, it's true.
I had the advantage of I had some electronic experience going in, and I had a fabrication shop because I did medieval recreation before I did Nerf, so I had everything to like make full suits of armor. So I understood. I had a lot of tools. I had a lot of stuff that helped, but I absolutely cringe with just disappointment and shame when I open Ire up today because I had no idea what I was doing, and I did everything wrong that you could do, and somehow it still worked. Parts of it, I like how this shouldn't work. Why does this work? Tier was a whole different story. That one's been upgraded and upgraded and upgraded and upgraded. The first couple of iterations were also just horrible. I tried things that were like, that was a bad idea. But eventually I got there. And a lot of it was watching videos, watching other YouTubers, a lot of trial and error. And some of it was just, like I said, I'd taken a class on circuits in college, and I'd taken a class on this, and I'd taken a class on that. And so I could understand, okay, here's how a circuit works. Here's how a switch works. Here's how motors work. But a lot of the videos that I made because there wasn't a good video on that. There wasn't a good video in the Nerf community that explained the difference between voltage and current. There wasn't a good video that explained how to choose a battery based on your motors. There wasn't a good video on how to get stripped out screws out of a blaster. Those videos just didn't exist, so I made them. That's why I do the disassembly videos. There are so many blasters in which there is no good disassembly guide. No one's done a disassembly guide on a Centurion. No one's that crazy. The video should go live while we're on this stream. I don't know how much longer the upload had, but it should be done soon. Yeah, I mean, and that's why I started doing having a survey to decide, okay, what blasters do you guys want to see? Because those are the ones I want to do. There's no point in me doing a disassembly guide on a video that nobody has any interest in. I'm like, okay, I'll put up a survey. Which ones do you want to see? And those are the ones I do. No. Because those are the videos that get the most comments. Not a week goes by that I don't get a comment on one of my reassembly videos from somebody thanking me for making it because they were finally able to fix their blaster. And that makes it worth it. Those don't get a lot of views, but they get the most positive comments.
Actually, you touched upon something I want to clarify just to make sure, especially for people that are getting into content creation. Even though you're doing the survey trying to get people to tell you what they want you to do, don't misinterpret that if you're sitting there trying to figure out content yourself and trying to go, wait, what do people want me to do? Because it'll lead you down areas where it's not going to be a joyful or happy thing. What Captain's asking for is a little different because it's still doing what he loves to do, which is the disassembly and reassembly video. The caveat is he's actually letting you pick which one because for him it's all the same. So the difference is if you're going to ask someone what I should do, it's making sure you're asking about something that you already want to do and not you trying to figure out how to make content or become popular because it will quickly burn you out. Trolls will be all over you and you'll say, this is horrible. Why did I do this?
Yeah. The minutia is something you can ask for. Like, okay, I'm going to do a video on how to repair blasters. Which ones do you guys need help repairing? Yeah. But don't ask them, just what kind of videos should I make? Like, no, make videos you enjoy making. Make videos that help you, that are worthwhile to you. I love doing the reassembly videos. I have become a much better modder as a result of those videos. Because I understand how locks work way better than I did before. I understand how rotation mechs work, how safeties work, how all of those things work. I can field strip and rebuild a Centurion in 10 minutes now. I definitely couldn't have done that 3 days ago.
Oh. So bots then, what about you, buddy? What is it when you make your content? Which are the ones that, what brings you joy? What is the one you like doing?
Well, the easy answer and the cop-out answer is the one that I want to do.
That's the correct answer, but expand.
Yes, but basically, and this is the advice that I give anybody who asks me to, because I have some smaller content creators even ask me, like, hey, I don't know what to do, or what am I doing wrong, or whatever. And the easy answer is, well, do you want to do the video? Because if you don't want to do the video, then why are you doing it? Because that shows through the screen. And
people can tell. Yeah, it's obvious when somebody is forcing a video out. And I mean, I like when I do reviews for stuff I don't really want to review. You can tell I'm not enthusiastic about reviewing this.
Yeah, it's just that contractual obligation that you have to take it. And you see that's another thing I've got asked. I have worked with a couple of smaller companies like Big Power Electric, Zenduo, like a couple of the other ones they send me blasters to review and talk about, and I would have people ask me, well, how do I get noticed by those companies? Do I email them and ask them? And I'm like, my personal advice in regards to that is don't email these companies and say, hey, I'm a content creator too, send me stuff. I think that looks very, I don't know, selfish? Is that the right word? A little immature? I've always been of the belief that when a company reaches out to you, it's because they want to work with you, and that's how it should be. But that's just my opinion, of course.
I agree, bots. 1 second. We actually got a caller. Let's see who is calling us.
Hey, we got a caller. Somebody wants to talk to us. Maybe they want advice.
Oh.
They're going to give us advice.
Hello.
Maybe someone's finally going to tell me what blaster the Centurion is similar to.
Hi, who's this?
General Strife.
Hey, what's up, Strife?
Right. Which blaster is the Centurion similar to?
I have no idea. I haven't opened that many
Get off my
blasters
lawn!
yet.
All right, we'll give you a second chance. But anyways,
what do you
what's
got
up, buddy? Yeah, what do you got?
Like my question?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, here, what do you want?
Because I'm in the middle of a break right now. How do you properly come back from a break from YouTube, and how do you rebound, basically?
Bots, you can go first, brother.
Couldn't tell you. I've never taken a break.
That's why.
The easy answer is never take a break. But
Yeah.
in all honesty, the serious way to come back from a break, from my experience, is just, going back to what I said earlier, just make content that you want to make. If there is a particular video or concept that you want to do, just work on it. And if you're already on a break, like you haven't put out content for a couple of weeks, maybe a month or two, then put your all into that video. So say when you come back, it comes back as a banger, and people will know, hey, General Strife is back. That would be my advice. Huh? Yeah, with the enthusiasm. Yeah, you want the
other thing that I found that helped me be able to continue to churn out videos that, like I have for the last 7 or 8 years, how long I've been doing this now, is having regular series. That's why I made series like Can I Take a K26 and Reassembly and Monday Mod Tips. I picked concepts that I knew I was never going to run out of content for. They are going to continue to make more blasters that I can try to shove a K26 in. They're going to continue to make blasters that I can do reassembly guides on. They are going to continue to, to do these things, and I'm going to be able to have more content. Things like my loadout videos. I may eventually run out of loadouts to do things, and then I'll move on to something else. But those core videos that I've had for 8 years, that helped me. And so if you have something like that, even if you take a break, you have that regular content that you can jump back into. And so, hey, welcome back to the return of, and enthusiastically restart that regular series.
Yeah, no, totally agree.
Yeah.
Any more questions?
Yeah, anything else?
No, that's it.
And again, because you're in charge of your own channel, obviously having a more steady stream is better, but it's still your life, and go at the pace that's good for you. Don't go at a pace because everyone tells you you should go at that pace and it's going to burn you out. You know what I mean? It's, especially when you're getting out, it's got to be, make it more fluid as opposed to a job. Otherwise it'll burn you out and you'll hate it and you won't be happy with it. Take a break when you have to, but just keep doing what you want to do and build off of that. Because more people, I think, like genuine content as opposed to this is me faking it because I think you'll like it better.
Yeah, I will put a caveat there, which means don't be afraid to play a character, but make it apparent there is a difference between you and the character that you're putting out there, because people love characters. That's very eye catchy. That's part of the reason why I formed a little subgroup called the Gentry of Extraordinary Foam Flingers. For that reason, so we could put on top hats and monocles and go out there and shoot zombies and act ridiculously preposterous.
It definitely worked for Coop. The persona that Coop put into a lot of his videos was entirely a fabricated character that he made for YouTube because he knew what would work. Having met him in real life and realizing he wasn't anything like that in real life, I respect that. That works. Other people like Walcom is exactly like he is in his videos.
Yep.
Yes.
And you can tell it's very genuine. He is that angry, excitable nerd. He is not playing it up. He's not pretending for clicks. Now that is exactly what he's like in real life. And that works for him. In many ways, Captain Xavier is a character that I play. I generally, when people ask me, well, what should I call you? Should I call you Chael or Captain Xavier? I'm really only Captain Xavier if I'm wearing a black hat. If I'm in character, if I'm on the field leading troops or hunting zombies or something, then I'm really Captain Xavier. Otherwise, I'm just some guy.
Truthfully, though, what's good about you is that your character is it's not so much of a character. It's just taking some of your quirks and just amplifying it a little bit. So that's what makes it.
See, now you should have met Captain Xavier when I was in my 20s. He was a dick.
That's why we weren't friends then, and for other reasons.
Yeah, Yeah, no, he was a brutal warlord back in when I did medieval recreation. I slaughtered prisoners, I took hostages, I tortured emperors. It was good times. I've mellowed in my old age.
I thought about for a while doing like a persona and character, but then I thought, you know what, man, being me has been pretty good in regular life. I'm always easy to get along with people. Said, you know what, screw it. I'm getting old and I don't have time, and I might forget the character I'm doing. It's like, wait a minute, he was someone else 2 weeks ago. Who the hell do you think he is now? So I'm just gonna go with
full WWF wrestler, man. We would have loved that.
I wait.
You've got the pads.
I can do it. You know what? That'll be like an alter ego series where you got to come and go. What
there
you gonna do?
Yes. Instead of Al the Geek, Al the wrestler, Al the strong, Al the Bash Brothers cousin.
That's right.
How much trouble would you guys get into if we made shirts that were like the NWO, like New World Order shirts from wrestling, but it says Foam World Alliance FWA?
Oh, we're doing that. I love that. Someone make a note of that. Man behind the curtain. We're getting shirts, man. Boss, that's a great idea.
Write that down. Start talking to the lawyers.
We are so lawyer nothing. That's right, man. So yeah, for all the wrestling people, if you all remember who Virgil was a wrestler. He was Ted DiBiase, the $1 Million Man's personal bodyguard. He passed away today.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
He was only 61 years old too, man.
Tragic.
It
General
is.
Strife, are you still here? Have we told you to get off the lawn yet?
He just failed. He's like,
he just wandered off. Like, old men are talking about weird stuff. I'm gonna go.
I'm done. They answered my question. I'm out of here.
I still haven't got an answer to my question. What blaster is the Centurion's primary mechanism most similar to? Somebody get it right.
Please.
It has been mentioned in this video. They're probably just waiting for the video to go live so they can watch it and get the answer.
Probably.
What?
All right, so let's go.
What's going on in the chat? Has anyone said anything? I can't see the chat. I'm on my phone, standing out here in the cold and the damp.
It is. So again, some people are guessing Centurion equals the Stampede. Fortnite AR, the Recon.
That's the one.
Which
Stampede.
One?
Stampede.
Stampede is the one. There we go.
Centurion is a giant bolt-action Stampede.
Bingo. So that happens. Foam Battalion, when you do come back, don't feel pressure to have to explain yourself, is something I can say. That's true. Yeah, where were you? Wherever I was, man, I'm back. That's not the question. This isn't, I'm going to tell you everything about my life. This is, I'm going to do what I'm going to do. So absolutely.
Yeah.
What do you mean break?
That's also another thing I noticed with younger content creators is they have a tendency to overshare, and you just have to remember no one needs to know your personal life. So only share as much as you're comfortable sharing.
This is true.
You do not owe them answers.
Yep.
Oh, here we go. Captain Xavier probably has made more content on modding than anyone on YouTube. I would, yes.
I don't know how many videos I have. I'm well over 1,000.
Well, think about it. Every series you do, this is Can It Take a K-26, episode 347.
I think I'm up to 120 something. I'm up to 190 something episodes of Friday fan mail. People just keep sending me stuff.
So yeah, that is the correct answer. Oh my God! And then we got, let's see. Oh, there we go. Xbox Games is checked in and saying hello to everybody. Prime B.
Oh, cool. I saw him this weekend. He was at the war I hosted.
Nice. Yeah, Prime B says Al.
Up here, he came. We had a bunch of new people up from Oregon who were. There's a guy down there trying to get a club going, so he brought a bunch of his friends, and it was just going to be a nice little private war with them. But then I invited all of my elite friends, so Dr. Flux and Luchator and Sergeant Deplorable and X-Fox. We had 20 people all together. But somebody got our number. Rude.
I guess
they've leaked
Should we take a caller?
Is it a sales call? Is this the IRS? Are we in trouble?
Hello.
Hey, Mom.
Hello. Who's
what
this?
Do you want?
Bing Bong, have a song. Hello, this is Kyle Schilling. Thank you, Al. Thank you, Captain Xavier, and thank you, Foam After Dark, for being very big contributors to the hobby. I just wanted to give my own personal thanks. I kind of want to ask a kind of a deep question, not like personal deep, but seeing that AEBs have been making a very wide acceptance in a short period of time, yet HPA has been stagnant or very selective in an acceptance in the competitive scene or casual PvP games. Do you guys find that HPA will get to the level of acceptance that AEBs are currently at, or do you find the risk in responsible handling from players to be too big?
I have thoughts on that.
I doubt it will. AEBs they're inherently more complicated than things like a flywheeler or a springer. There's a reason Hasbro abandoned that concept, but then other people have picked it up and they've done beautiful, beautiful things with it. I love that we're seeing more AEBs because they have the potential to be more powerful than flywheelers, or at least a whole lot quieter than high-powered flywheelers. We can get a flywheeler that'll hit 200 FPS, but it's going to sound like a jet engine taking off. Whereas AEBs are just svelte, and I love the whole action and the recoil and all of that. HPA has various stigmas that are attached to it that are probably not fair. Most of it's lack of education. It's fear. If an AEB goes catastrophically wrong, it's really, really bad. But paintball uses it and somehow manages to not explode every day. But it's a lot more expensive.
No, and I find it to be that like all types of blasters can be able to fit some kind of niche or some kind of integration within the hobby. Because I've owned all types of blaster types of, springers, flywheelers, HPA, dabbled in every single type of or kind of blaster that there is. Do you find that we can probably pre-screen people to say, hey, if we know that you are a responsible handler of, let's say, HPA, for instance, then can we bring them into the hobby?
The trick is who gets to decide who does and doesn't get to do it.
Yeah.
If I'm running the event and I don't know enough about HPA to determine if you are a safe person, what should I do?
Oh, yes. No, I get your point. Definitely.
If the person running the event knows about HPA, is familiar, keep this person on. This is a good question because your time is about to run out. If the person running the event is familiar with it enough or knows somebody who is that they can delegate that to, then you can do it. There are events that allow HPA. There are all kinds of private events that allow them. Not a lot of public events allow them, and not necessarily because of the club, but because of various city ordinances. HPA can often fall afoul of various city ordinances. Same thing with like airsoft, paintball. Those aren't allowed in a city park, and because of the firing mechanism that is HPA, they may not be allowed. They're considered, an air gun or of some sort. And so a lot of parks don't allow them. College campuses don't want to allow them. Or they've already got a rule against them, even though it's not the same thing. It fires a different thing. It's actually safe, but the rule is the rule, and so it's not allowed. Private events, personal events, like I'd have no problem with people bringing HPA to my event. In fact, Dr. Pugh does bring HPA blasters. His are not super powerful, ridiculous things. It's things like he has an HPA crusher, belt-fed crusher that's HPA. He has an HPA semi-automatic Centurion. He has an HPA semi-automatic Fortnite grenade launcher. Nothing that's hitting 200 FPS or is gonna cause a problem. They're just cool. And he knows how to do them properly. He's got a properly regulated tank. He's got a properly regulated pump. It's all safe, and I have no problem with that. But we don't allow that at Borst because Borst has a rule against air-powered things being fired in the park. So yeah, it's definitely something that. Yeah, I'm the only one talking. What's going on, Bob? What's your thought?
I completely
just in 1
agree.
second. Yeah, Captain Xavier, that's exactly perfect. You makes total sense. Bots, man, your take. Go ahead.
Yeah, ironically, you kind of touched on a lot of things that I was going to say. I think when it comes to a lot of facets of the hobby, a lot of it is just people not being properly educated on it. I remember when I first got into the hobby, lipos were a hot issue because everybody wanted them, but everyone was like, don't you dare overcharge them because then boom. And I've been to events where lipos have popped, and I'm like, oh, it wasn't that bad. I mean, it was a danger for the blaster, but it was still, if you know what you're doing and you properly educate yourself, then, I mean, there shouldn't be any issues at all. I know actually Blaster at Arms that we just had on a little while ago as a caller, Space City Foam uses almost exclusively HPA when they do their rounds over there in Texas. But caveat, we're in Texas, so we have more room. Maybe that's an issue too. No one bothers us.
Venue is often an issue, yeah. HPA I know is popular overseas as well.
Yeah. I think it also has to do with venue, like you said. I mean, if you are an event organizer and it's a public event in a public park or any sort of public venue, and they're like, no, then you just have to respect that. I think anybody in general throwing a tantrum because they don't want to let you use your HPA, and that makes the hobby in general look bad, as opposed to you just saying, okay, that's fair. And then when you go to your private events, go nuts. That's just me.
Yeah. One of my goals for this year is to finally build an HPA blaster just so that I can increase my knowledge so I can better answer other people's questions. Because I don't know as much about HPA as I would like. I have most of the parts. I just haven't gotten around to actually learning how to assemble it. I need to drag Dr. Pugh up here from Oregon and go, teach me everything. And do it, because I've got some builds that would be brilliant with HPA, and I can't think of any way to do it other than HPA.
Yeah, that's actually sorry. That's actually one rule that we have, like at our local club, but also like in regards to like Foam After Dark, which is we will never tell you or anybody how you should be playing. So a lot of people will, jump into a conversation and be like, HPA, that's dangerous, and it's like, wait a minute, are we telling somebody how they can play? I don't think we do that here. That's not what we're about.
Which reminds me, you should play Airsoft. Ha 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 ha.
I did that. I was unimpressed.
Yeah,
I just hate when people say that.
I've done paintball.
Yep.
I enjoy Nerf, and I enjoy it for the people.
Yeah.
Sometimes my reply is, you should off, but yeah. If we're gonna tell people we're gonna tell each other what to do, but
yeah.
Yeah, my general response to when someone asks me, why don't you just do Airsoft, is because Airsofters ask that question.
Yeah. It's true though.
Oh, that's awesome. Kyle, man, that's a great question. I don't know if he's still here or not, but thanks for asking that, man.
Yeah,
excellent.
No,
question.
I'm still here. I was just letting you guys talk. It was a great conversation kind of starter. I'm also really into Nerf because I live in government quarters where we can't have airsoft or paintball as part of ownership unless we confiscate it to our own company, because I'm military in the Army, so we're basically shoved in the government quarters unless we have our own privatized residence. So that's why one of the main reasons why I got into Nerf, because I like shooting projectiles of foam darts, and then I started having nostalgia, and then I started working with the guys over at Games of Foam and Brit Nerf, and then I've been in a hobby for about 5, maybe 6 years now, and it's just been escalated quickly, going to many events all over the place, working with multiple clubs. Yeah, it's been such an experience so far. My first ever time when I first got in, I remember buying an Infamous, a Modulus, a Retaliator, and then just going to stock games, and then show up for my first event, and then somebody whips out an FDL3, and I'm like, oh my God, this is a hobby? I never knew that this would escalate quickly like this.
Yeah,
and then that's where I really took a dive bomb.
That is why the World Foam Alliance exists, is because Hasbro, Nerf is the second largest toy line after Lego. Mm-hmm. There are millions of people that have Nerf blasters. most of them don't know that our hobby exists. And we're trying to get them in by hook or by crook and get more people involved because, every town there are, thousands and thousands and tens of thousands of people with Nerf blasters who have nowhere to play. They don't know that there's a club that meets at their city park twice a week because we're lousy at advertising. We're working on it. But once you dip your toe into the hobby and you see things like an FDL3 or my smart gun or my minigun or a proton pack in action, you go, what? Why aren't these available at Walmart?
Oh yeah, I've like dive bombed huge into it. I've owned now, was it 3 FDL3s, a Milsig M79, an M20, an M20X Genesis. It's like a mortgage and a half just in my hand, something like that.
There it is. Hey Kyle, where are you located?
So right now over at Fort Belvoir in Northern Virginia.
Oh, nice. All right, you're right around the corner. So wait, are you going to be able to make it to Mayhem?
Right around the corner. Oh, I sure will. In fact, I'm working on doing sponsorship, or I am going to be a sponsor for Maryland Mayhem. However, there is going to be some back work as to my partnership with an unnamed company. I will actually be making an announcement on Foam After Dark show.
Mm-hmm.
How awesome!
I already know who that is. Yeah.
I hope so. Otherwise, you'd be like, "What?
You know this guy?"
Me? No, never.
Being vague.
Kyle, we are scheduled to have him on as a guest sometime in March. We don't have an official date locked down yet because we do have the Texas Community Battle the 16th. That's kind of mid-March. But after that, he's going to be one of our guests. I know he's real excited.
You know what? I'm now curious. Kyle, man, thanks for calling in. This is awesome, brother.
Yeah.
Definitely share when that date is. Bots, let us know when it is, man. We look forward to the announcement. And definitely come up to us at Maryland Mayhem and say hello. And even if you say...
Oh, I definitely will.
Remember, we're old people. We forget shit.
Come by, give you a beer, shoot the shit, or shoot the breeze. Sorry, excuse me. Excuse my French.
Yeah,
shoot the breeze with y'all, and maybe drink a beer or two.
Awesome, buddy. Thank you very much, man. And looking forward to it.
Looking forward to you guys meeting all of y'all.
We'll be there with bells on.
Wait, this isn't bells. This is skulls and spikes. I can put bells on this. What am I talking about?
Dingle, dingle, dingle. The zombies will hear you coming.
Maybe I want them to come.
Then eventually you set up a little automated bell dinger and drop them off.
That could work. A little speaker and just have some just ominous bong. The death bell tolls, you know I'm coming.
That's crazy.
Oh, that's awesome. So again, ladies and gentlemen, if you're on the stream, please hit the like button. Don't forget to hit the like button. Have I mentioned hit the like button? Don't forget to subscribe. If you've not subscribed to our YouTube channel, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Hit the like button. Get your friends' phones. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, your family, everything else. Don't worry, they won't mind. Don't steal random people's phones. Just, if significant others or whatever else, man, if they won't subscribe, just do them the favor. They will just come back and appreciate it to you later. Not that I'm authorizing illegal activity. You know what I mean. Share, man. Share. Let them know we are here. The more people know that what we're doing, the more we can do for you. The bigger things we can do, the more people we can have come out, man. Don't forget to share. We have a web caller.
Web caller.
Gizmo.
Still no rotary phone caller. But web caller, who do we got?
Hello? I don't trust technology.
I hear nothing.
Can't trust them.
You know what? Maybe, see, rotary phone, man. The rotary phone. It'll work.
It would have worked.
Hello?
Phantom caller. Someone hit the call in and hung up.
You're on mute. You're on mute your computer, bud.
Unmute yourself. Find your speaker. Find your microphone.
And the microphone button. Click the microphone button.
This one might not be get off my lawn. This This one might be throw him on the scrap heap.
In the bin.
In the bin.
Derek.
Oh, we got Derek's all over the place.
Derek's for days.
Derek, we can hear you. All right, you know what? I will wait, hold on. I will channel my inner Derek. Oh, he hung up. I think what Derek was going to ask was, Bots, what's the next major project you're working on?
Ooh, the next major project I'm working on. Oof, I don't know if I should say.
That you can tell us about.
Okay. That's a better one that I can tell you about. I'm actually working on sort of like a. I did one recently, which is a.
What?
I did one recently, which was kind of like a. I don't know. I'd say like a video essay. This was going to be essentially the dark side of Nerf content creating, and essentially, which is kind of like talking about the truths of being a Nerf content creator, such as, one thing is when you're a content creator, generally you don't have a lot of time to consume other people's media because you're busy making your own. So stuff like that.
I don't watch anybody else's videos anymore.
No, let's put a pin in that. I think we have the web caller that's back. Web caller, are you there?
Hello? Hello? You're still on mute. Poke the button.
I overtalked them, so they got bored.
No, you were good. Don't worry, man. Patience is also good in this hobby. Oh,
what? Wait, I heard something.
Hello.
Warble. Hello. Try it again. You're still on mute.
There we go.
Can you hear me now?
You can hear us. Yeah, there we go.
There we go. That might
What's
be
up, buddy?
some
What's your
wicked
question?
lag. I think we're just hearing ourselves.
It was ourselves. Then he had said something and now he stopped. All right, at this point, 5, 4, 3, 2. Bots, back to what you're doing, brother. The video essay.
Cool. Yeah, just a video essay as far as like the darker side of content creating. But I have I guess a policy when it comes to like my own brand of content, which is if I do want to talk about a specific event that happens, I never name the person, I never name the company, whatever it is, because I don't believe in perpetuating drama. I don't believe in making problems for people because I think there's enough negativity in the world. I don't need to add to it. I mean, you can turn on the news and find negativity. But I think there's also a misconception that a lot of people have coming into the hobby that they're going to blow up and be the next insert Nerf tuber here. And it's like, whoa, buddy, you gotta build up to that. And I don't know. I doing video essays like that is very like I don't know, rejuvenating for my soul, for lack of a better word.
I like that idea very much because I think it's well, first if it helps with you and keeps you even keeled, amen, do it. Yeah. Like that is first and foremost. If that's the main thing, it doesn't matter if you have 1 viewer, 1 million viewers. That's the main thing to do. But it's also, again, it's another part of what this is, as it's like we've talked about this before, like both Cap and I, because we have full-time gigs, this is luckily our part-time gig, so we can afford to just do it the way we want to do it. Whereas opposed to when this is your paycheck, this is your meal ticket, sometimes you have to bend what the algorithm or what the world is telling you to do just to ensure that you're getting that money in. So we've been lucky where it's like, well, like now we have a show that you yell at people and tell them to get off our lawn, and we try to answer questions, not answer questions, but it doesn't matter. We also luckily are not natural born dicks, so we're generally trying to be good people and just have fun. But it's not like we're tomorrow looking over how many stats we got. Did we get enough people? What about this? What about that? So there is that luxury to it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The man behind the curtains we're just the talking heads.
Yeah. No,
I'm also a caller. Another one. Again, we'll see if this one works.
Hello?
Hello?
Hello.
Does it work? Can you hear
Who are
me?
you? What do you want?
Yes.
This is the man behind the curtain.
What's happening?
Just proving
look
that
at
the web link. Just proving the web link works.
Did you
Doc,
push the
is
secret
that
button?
you?
What? I just wanted to get told to get off the lawn. You guys have
Hey.
never said it to me.
Buddy, you know what, man? Get back to where you belong, behind the curtain. Get off my lawn.
Get off my lawn. My lawn is damp.
I get to hang up on myself.
Actually, before you hang up on yourself, is there anything we forgot to tell people about? Nope, he hung up on himself.
He already
That's all right.
Hey, you
So
all
then-
want a sneaky preview on what I'm going to be working on in the near future?
Yeah, man.
Figures.
Hello.
Hello.
Can you hear
Hello.
me now?
Yes.
What do you want?
Oh, hey. Yeah,
John, is
calling
that
in
you?
from Florida,
No,
Cool.
it's not who I thought it was.
Nice. Who is it? What's your name?
land of the oranges.
We've got internet in
There's
Florida?
How very dare you?
I will show you how I dare. Now let me explain. That's how I dare. What do you want? Ask us a question. We will tell you
just
nothing
one
but
or
love.
two questions. So, I was thinking about getting a 40 Max to make it brass barreled. You know, a 3-foot brass barrel. Wondering how hard it would be hitting.
I have the foggiest idea. I've got 3 of them, and I have at no point ever put gas into them. You're going to have to build it in chrono, and I doubt what you're trying to build has ever been built.
You're going to have
You know
to
what,
be the
dude?
guinea
Yeah.
pig.
Yeah, there
Yeah,
you go.
I'll
You know
post
what,
it, in the Discord.
dude?
I imagine you're going to get about 5 MacGuffin units.
So,
But you know what? That's
what does
exactly
that
what we touched
translate
upon.
to?
Well, hold on. This is exactly what touched upon is that sometimes, you know, like the ideas and things we do is not because someone told us to do it. It's just we're looking at something going, you know what? I should do this. This is one of those moments. You should do it.
Exactly.
Do it.
Do it. Do it. Do it. That's the best about this. It's just a cool enough project where even if it's 5 FPS or 95 FPS, it is attempted and it'll be cool either way.
Yes. So, yeah, that was my only question.
So wait,
Then
how
go
many
for
shells
it.
do you have? And what made you just think about like a 3-foot barrel on it?
No, I just thought it was like, like how can I make this hit like stupidly hard?
Well, the question is going to be whether the thing has enough air capacity to clear a 3-foot barrel. You're going to find
Yeah, it
out.
probably
Let us
does.
know.
I mean, yeah, probably put like 100, 200 psi of green gas, propane. It'll launch that thing.
He's
It's
not turning into a
necessarily
potato
the
gun.
PSI that matters. It has to have enough air volume to fill the barrel.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
I mean,
that's
yeah,
just what
brass,
I was thinking.
It's got enough.
Yeah,
Well,
but it's because
measure it, and then we can figure out what the conversion rate to MacGuffin units is.
yeah.
There, bots. Go ahead, brother.
Oh, sorry. It's just because, you know, if you're going to be shooting Mega XL or anything bigger and you're trying to brass barrel it, you're going to have a lot of barrel drag to compensate for. You probably just end up blowing the head off.
Oh, no,
Awesome.
no. I'm not shooting Mega XL. I'm shooting a single dart.
Oh, you didn't clarify that.
Then you're probably fine.
You didn't clarify.
Probably fine. We go find out. He said. I mean, I got a drain blaster to fire a single dart out of was it a 3-foot barrel? Might have been a 5-foot barrel. I think it was a 3-foot barrel. And I got 500 FPS. But that was a drain blaster. They've got a lot of air volume. But I don't know what pressure they're at. Whereas you can get one of these. What exactly are you doing again? I think I've lost track. Are you using one of these things, the 40 Max shell?
That's what he said.
That's
I think
what I
he's
thought.
already off.
Is he gone?
I think he's already gone.
Man down. But this does not have much air volume, I would imagine. but it's got a lot of PSI. So it can clear a short barrel real easily because it's got the force to pop it loose, but I don't know if it would have the air volume to fill a long barrel and keep providing pressure.
So
I have no idea.
Let's hope he runs a video camera and has pipe cutters handy.
I hope he videotapes it. I hope he chronographs it, and then he sends us the numbers so that we can get the conversion to MacGuffin units.
Test 1, 3 feet. Oh, test 2, 30 inches. Test 3, 26 inches.
Oh, no, we've gone too short. We need to add another half inch. Darn it.
That's right.
Oh,
that's awesome.
Okay, Bob,
All right.
were you talking about a project, or was that done? Where are we? What are we talking about? What's going on?
That was pretty much done, but talking about 500 FPS just reminded me of a conversation I had. I was talking to somebody, actually. I ended up accidentally offending them, and it wasn't my intention to offend them. Because they were talking about this project they were doing, 3D printing, whatever, and they were like, I got to hit over 500 FPS. I'm like, dude, that's cool, but where can I use that? And he's like, I don't know. And it's like, my intention was not to make you question your life choices. It was just an innocent question. You know, where you plan on using that?
That's kind of the
We're
thing.
so
is
busy
you
thinking if
building,
you could, you never stop to think if you should.
Yeah, you get people building 300, 350, 400, 450 FPS blasters, and there's nowhere anywhere that I go that it would allow something that powerful.
Yeah.
I know there are events where that's exclusively 300 FPS or no cap whatsoever, and they tend to have really long engagement ranges, so it's not a problem. When you're shooting your friend at 150 feet with 400 FPS, that's fine. If you were going to use that in my arena, not only would you be shooting through my cover and my net walls, you'd hurt somebody. But I built a blaster, hit 500 FPS. I then immediately disabled, disassembled it. You're like, I don't want this in my shop. Someone's gonna hurt themselves with this.
Yeah.
But I love the engineering of it. I love that people are pushing. People have built blasters that'll, from crazy science YouTube channels have gotten darts moving the speed of sound. So, it's. Oh yeah, they've broken the sound barrier with a Nerf dart.
I think I've seen that video.
Of course they have. Why
you use a vacuum cannon.
It's
you use a vacuum cannon and you can do it. The vacuum cannon, you can break the sound barrier with a ping pong ball. Science is wacky.
I was going to say there's an application you guys are missing with the higher FPS round, and it's not necessarily shoot your friends. Sometimes it's look out your back window and get the damn deer out of your garden.
I've got deers that nibble my pears. I could use that. I just let swamp cat chase them.
Or, like we all know, bird feeders, squirrels.
There you go.
Squirrels.
Mm-hmm.
I got possums that come on my porch sometimes.
I used to have a possum problem. Then I got a pit bull. So, no, I don't have a possum problem.
That would solve that. All right, y'all want to see something that I've been working on?
Yes,
but one caveat I was going to say, possum on his porch with a 400 FPS blaster, there wouldn't be much left with a possum.
This is true. All right, for those of you watching the stream, you're going to get to see something nifty.
Dude. What are those?
Look like giant fly
Never
wheels.
mind what those are. They could be anything. Let's see here.
All right.
Nothing to see.
Nothing to
if
see.
you know, you know. If you don't, you don't need to.
Hold them up one more time. Dude, you madman.
Yeah, I think I was right.
I know what that is. It's the flux capacitor, man. We are going back in time, baby. Woo! Oops, I was not supposed to say that. Never mind.
You're not as wrong as you'd think. They are a thing from the past.
Yes, they are.
That I have access to, and no one else does. Right.
It's my diary. Don't tell anybody.
It's good stuff. Yeah. All right, Bops. What's your story? How did you get into this hobby?
How did I get into this hobby? Ironically, through LARPing. I kind of went in reverse, whereas most people start in foam-flinging and they end up in nerfing. I went the opposite direction. I was running It's a game called Mage the Ascension. It's a live action style game. That's basically, long story short, it has characters in there that are kind of like Men in Black agents. And somebody had brought the Firefly Rev 8, the original yellow one. They're like, hey, can I use this as my energy blaster? And I was like, hey, it lights up. That's cool. And that person tried to paint it up. They messed it up all the heck. And they were like, hey, can you help me put it back together? And that's how I got hooked in.
That'll do it.
Yeah.
That'll do it.
That was back in 2009, and I was kind of like in the hobby. I say loosely, kind of like on the outskirts when people were making videos from like the shoulders down because they're afraid to show their faces when they were working on Nerf content. And around 2016, I started getting real serious about it. Then career stuff happened, so I had to step out for a while. But I was always watching, consuming, and then 2019, the precinct that I was with kind of like shut down because of COVID-related stuff. So I found myself with a lot of free time, and I was like, yeah, my partner, it was like, why don't you try that crazy YouTube thing you're always complaining about? And here I am.
And here you are.
Dude, that's awesome.
Wacky.
Wait,
Yeah.
Precinct, are we allowed to ask what you do full time?
Actually, at the moment, because of certain things that happened, I am kind of like retired. It's kind of like a medical thing. I won't say too much more than that, but yeah, I'm technically retired because of it. But
that's up.
Yeah, but it was law enforcement oriented. I was not a peace officer, but I worked alongside them doing certain duties and stuff.
Cool, dude.
Yeah.
Fascinating.
That is awesome.
We should take a look at the comments. Are the comments, anyone, any good comments? Anybody speculating about what the things I held up? Bot's backstory, HPA. Anybody mention that Supermax? What's going on? Anybody
recent
involved?
thing, everyone's saying proton packs for some reason. I don't know why they would say something like that.
Weird. I don't know what they're talking about.
Yeah, I don't either.
Technically, they're wrong.
Technically, they are. That's correct. One comment was Jeebus Christ, a 40 Max Mega XL sniper. Imagine the slap.
That would be a slap.
Well, that guy made a fully automatic, or I think it's semi-automatic Mega XL bolter. I'm going to start printing that soon.
That is Jeremy, man, and he had it at Katsucon, which I was at, and it is just, I tell you, man, the stuff he makes, his cosplays and everything else, man, Jeremy is...
Stuff is so good.
Yeah,
I mean,
it really
this
is.
Is partly based on his, isn't it?
Yes, probably.
Yeah, so I'm definitely going to be going to have to start printing the bolter, the Mega XL one, because it's just incredible.
And I think it's like he's got the 6 or 7 round mag, and then like the 8 or 9 round drum mag. For the
like, oh, someone did it! Someone up and did it!
Of course,
this is brushless motors. It's I'm glad I know how to do that now.
Yes. Which is crazy, man. So personal plug. Anyone in the DC area, I am doing AwesomeCon in 2 weeks. Not this weekend, but next weekend. It happens at the Washington Convention Center. This is my third con in 6 weeks. Life has been crazy. I've been making stuff, but yeah, if you're in the DC area, man, come out to AwesomeCon.
Convincing me to go.
I blame Maryland Mayhem for being too close to it. If it wasn't that close,
it is. It's Maryland's fault. I couldn't do both. I had to do one or the other, and Maryland Mayhem won.
Unless we find a personal sponsor out there that wants to fund Captain Xavier's trip to AwesomeCon, hashtag send Captain Xavier to AwesomeCon. We accept checks or airfare. So otherwise,
Venmo me $600 to buy a plane ticket. I've got a Patreon. You can just donate $600 to my Patreon. Send me to AwesomeCon. I really should push my Patreon more. I need merch. Hey, Al, you know a good place to get merch?
In fact, I do. It's called Sticker Mule, and I will send you links.
But their ads, they're so terrible.
You don't have to buy the ads. Just buy the stuff.
Ah, but I don't want people to think that I bought this stuff because I watched a terrible ad and fell for it.
You know what this is now? This is now it's intervention because now you've gone into old guy that's paranoid.
You know what, Al? You can get off my lawn.
Next thing you know, he's going to move to Vader, Washington, and try to live off the grid or something. Oh, wait a minute.
I'm going to become an old cat man. We're almost done. I need to go grocery shopping and get more cat food. Swamp Cat's eating all her food.
She'll eat the bugs.
She will.
But yeah.
Probably, when the snakes come out of hibernation, she will eat the snakes.
That's right. But yeah, man. So yeah, Awesome Con in 2 weeks. Feel free to come out. Also, Maryland Mayhem will be coming up as well. Also, don't forget about PA Survival Fest, and also N-War has been announced as well. And also, bots, we have the big Texas battle happening March 16th. It is happening in Centerville, Texas, which is between Houston and Dallas, correct?
Yes, at Fort Boggy State Park.
How far of a drive is that from Dallas?
It's maybe, I think, about a 3-hour drive, 4-hour drive.
And the name of the fort again?
Fort Boggy State Park.
Boggy?
Boggy. Like a water bog.
It's weird. Who would build a fort in a bog? Just sink into the swamp.
It's just like
rebuild it and burn down, fall over, and then sink into the swamp. They're ridiculous.
Well, what about Fort Borst? That sounds like something I see on a German menu. Like, I will have the Borst with my.
No. Borscht is Russian. You uneducated Schweinhund.
Considering I'm Croatian in the background, I should have recognized that as well. Oh, that's funny.
Absolutely disgusted.
I know.
But Borst is on a swamp. It has flooded on several occasions. And my compound is in a swamp. I got my cat from a swamp.
Hence the name.
The property is cheap. That's why. Yes. Swamp Cat is named Swamp Cat because she came from a swamp. It's less a name and more a title. I assume she has a name, but it's in cat, and I don't speak cat, so.
She's a great cat. She put up with me in Maritime, too, and it didn't kill us on our sleep, so this is good.
Oh, don't think she didn't think about it.
I know she thought about it, but I appreciate the fact that she chose not to.
She is a benevolent overlord.
That's right.
We have Blaster Arms in chat. He was saying that it's 2 hours from Dallas and 2 hours from Houston. And I said, except for me, it's 8 hours for me. So I'm going to have to drive 8 hours to get there.
Oh my God! I'm hoping you spend the night and not just drive back 8 hours.
Oh no, yeah, we're planning to make a weekend of it. So yeah, for me it's not a big deal, but yeah, it's gonna be like people don't realize just how big Texas is. I can drive 8 hours and still be in Texas.
Texas is huge. Yes, that's why it's like it's in Texas. Wait.
That doesn't narrow anything down.
Nope.
No. Like comparatively, Virginia's small, man.
Yeah.
The people who really don't get it are Europeans who go to Washington, D.C. It's like, we want to go to L.A. How far is it by train? First of all, what train? Second of all, no.
Oh my God, that's crazy.
Well, it's you know what's so Maritime Phone also thought about coming out for Awesome Con, and we're just checking flights from St. John's, New Brunswick to the D.C. area, and Canadian it was $1,800. And it's like, are you kidding me? I think he could go to Australia for cheaper than it was just to fly a couple hours to DC. It's like, come on, man.
Yeah, it came to a little over 500 for me to go from SeaTac to Dulles direct.
Wow.
Yeah.
But that's the thing is, if I it was cheaper. It's weird sometimes when you try to go to a smaller airport, the price just goes astronomical. Or if you're coming from a small airport, so flying from SeaTac to State College, where Survival Fest is more expensive than SeaTac to Amsterdam.
Wow.
And it's that little hop from wherever you end up flying into, because you can't fly directly to State College. There's no flights direct from SeaTac. So you have to fly into like DC or Baltimore or Chicago or somewhere, and then take a prop plane into State College, and that's where the price just gets ridiculous.
Side note: I'm guessing you're flying to my house
to Amsterdam nonstop from SeaTac. Weird.
Why do I feel like you're flying to my house and riding with me to Penn State?
I mean, that would be much more enjoyable, honestly.
We'll figure it out. Perfect. I was gonna say flights to Toronto, because originally from Toronto, Canada, and from Toronto to here, mind you, it's an hour and a half on paper, technically 48 minutes in the air. You get up, coffee, all right, now descent, and costs the same as going from SeaTac to Dulles, which is what, a 5-hour flight compared to 45 minutes.
Wow.
Madness.
That's
on,
crazy.
man.
Flying
weird.
fees are crazy.
It's weird.
So Pearson International is the airport in Toronto. Isn't this so nerf related? Well, it is, because you want to travel to places, we're telling you what to look out for.
Yeah.
So
You gotta know. You gotta know.
Well, now I also
get your
understand.
tickets as soon as possible, because the closer you get to your time, the more they just get more and more expensive.
I understand why Anthony Maritime Phone drives everywhere, because it's easier.
Yeah, that's why I drive everywhere.
Say,
and I don't like driving. I mean, I'll happily ride if someone else wants to drive, but I get road hypnosis and just pass out.
Well, no, I can agree with you too. I don't like driving either, but I do it when I have to.
Yeah.
I don't mind driving. I'm used to it. When I go up to Canada, to Toronto, for me, it's usually about 8.5, 9 hours. I can do it in my sleep. I'm just so used to it.
No, I don't like it. That's why I loved traveling in Europe, where it was all by train. You just get on the train and just all you had to worry about is this my stop? I don't know. All the instructions are in German.
I see. Look out the window. What language is being spoken? Where am I?
Where am I? Do they have tea here?
Yeah.
We did get we missed one of our exits where we were supposed to get off, and we didn't think we were at the right spot, and so we stayed on, and then we were at the wrong spot, and things got complicated. But we were able to work it out eventually. The info desk was of no help. They told us it was impossible, and that can't be right. There's got to be a way to get through from here.
Seriously. All right, we're almost out of time, but at this point, ladies and gentlemen, we are. So again, I'll remind you that subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Hit the like button. Again, let us know where you are. Also, go to worldfoamalliance.org. Make sure you register there. The more you register, the more people we can find. Therefore, the more things that we can do. Tomorrow, we do have another episode of The Range featured by Captain Xavier. Cap, do you want to quickly tell them what The Range is about tomorrow? Then I'll keep going.
I take a bunch of blasters, some of which were voted on by you guys, and I fling some foam on my range. We'll be back on the indoor range because it's been pouring rain, and so I can't use the outdoor range. I should probably get around to filming this episode and get it uploaded tonight.
Maybe we should do one where you just, when it's raining, you're out there in rain gear and just throwing wet socks.
No, that sounds unpleasant. That sounds miserable.
Fine, I'll do it next time I'm out there.
Eaten by a goat or something. It's terrific.
That could be. That's right.
Never know what's going to be out.
We have The Range coming up soon with Captain Xavier. Maryland Mayhem, again, don't forget, sponsorship is almost up. By the end of this weekend, sponsorship will be closed. Anything you can donate, they have several tiers, man. They will make it do. Obviously, they're trying to hit their goal, and the more you can send, the more they can do for us, and it just makes it easier for them. I am a sponsor. The World Foam Alliance is a sponsor. Many people are sponsored. If you want to be a sponsor, go ahead, look them up, hit them up, see what you can donate. And again, especially if you want to get some exposure, if you're trying to do what you want to do, you help out with each other. It's kind of like they help you, we help each other. It goes to a good event. That's why I got my name attached to it. If it was something horrible and crappy, my name would not be attached to it, and we would not be talking about it. Also, the full world, all of us from the World Foam Alliance will actually be there. So you'll get to see us and talk to us, and you can grill us in person what the World Foam Alliance is about, or if you have your doubts, or if you want to come up and tell us how awesome it is, or possibly tell us what we should be doing better. Either way, we will listen as much as we can, but at the same time, we're there to slay zombies and tournament stuff. So we're happy to see you there. I think that covers everything. I may have forgotten stuff.
Bots and blasters.
Yeah.
He's doing a
thing.
Well,
a bus. the crap my crap's done. Now, bots, man. Tell us about you. Yes.
Just check me out on YouTube, Bots and Blasters. YouTube, Bots and Blasters, TikTok, Instagram, all the socials. It's just Bots and Blasters.
What's the bot all about?
Okay, you really want to know? Quick story?
No, we don't have time.
Okay.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do. Tell us.
I want to know, but we don't have time. Tell me later.
Yeah, we do. Tell us.
Okay.
The
easy answer is because I was always the weirdo that was talking about Transformers and Gundam at my local park, so people just call me Bots.
I
think that's awesome. I like that.
I summarized it a lot.
Hey, I had to make the choice whether I wanted to go down the rabbit hole of Transformers or stick with Lego. I went with Lego. I stand by the decision. Then they came out with a Lego Optimus Prime just to mock me.
Of course they did. Nice.
Still
all right.
About that.
All right.
With that said, ladies and gentlemen, again, much love to all of you. Go out, be safe. We hope to see you again soon. Obviously, the next up is we do have Foam Zone with Andrew, a.k.a. Dart Sweet. But then also, keep an eye out. We're going to have the return of the Lightning Hour with Sophie Lightning. That'll be on, and I think her special guest is Captain Xavier. Well, special guest. One of us will be, and I think it's Cap's turn. The two of them will be, we'll figure it out, but we'll make the announcement. Sophie Lightning Hour, and that'll be, I do believe, Monday, March 11th or 12th, whatever that Monday is. That's happening, which is Monday, March 11th. And then again, us Get Off My Lawn again at some point after all that, but we will get to that. Also, Maryland Mayhem, we will be having the live, what are we doing? Oh yeah, the live drawing for the tournament. Date will be announced, but we will be doing a live drawing in terms of who faces off who for the tournament for Maryland Foam Alliance, and that will probably be happening on Foam Zone. Don't quote me on that. We will have confirmed that soon. All right. Much love, much peace. We'll see you next time. Get off my lawn, but come back.
Off my lawn. Get out.